beat someone like Sib. He's able to kind of make a name for himself here. And more importantly, the one thing I love about this tournament is a lot of people who don't have LAN experience are going to get it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely true. I think this is one of his first really big tournaments that he's a part of. I mean, he very often plays in the online tournaments, but this is a different beast altogether, so it will be a great learning experience for him. And he's doing so well,
And he's playing Rafa, so if there's anyone you could play for learning experience, it's going to be him.
Yeah, he gets to have a similar experience to what Sib had in the QL a bit ago. But yeah, of course, we've been saying this for the past few games. We've got a bit of an underdog here versus somebody who's kind of the usual favorite, at least with that matchup. So best of luck to Nico. When it comes to k1llsen and Whaz, I think there's a little bit more up for grabs. k1llsen, of course, one of the most consistent players in Quake history. Whaz has been all over the map in terms of like what he's playing, who he's playing with, a lot of team mode stuff, always been like a real staple, but now like all the spotlight's on him.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be considered the underdog if we're to look at it in the matchup. Thing is, we know his, and I'm going to give Dehang credit for this, because I actually talked to him before the match about Whaz a little bit. You know, he's one of the best in the game when it comes to movement, so that's why you see him used in like team modes, like when we saw him playing in Sacrifice with Liquid. He's very flashy, so he's not really basing his play around controlling the map and controlling items. He's more based around just making those like really cool kills happen or those really quick frags. So I think up against k1llsen, it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to work, because k1llsen, I almost want to say he's like very methodical in the way he plays.
Yeah.
And I know we're talking about it off air, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it till I run out of breath. But his rails, again, I wasn't around during Quake Live, and I always hear the stories about k1llsen. Yeah, thanks, man. About k1llsen, but we have not seen it in Quake Champions. And the only tournament he's really done well in was the Italian Open, where he beat Vu in the finals.
Yeah, and even now, he lost against TNZ earlier. So usually I would definitely go ahead and give this one to k1llsen if I had to pick one of the players to win this. But after his performance against TNZ, I don't know. I think Whaz has got a pretty good shot at making this one.
And I feel bad for Whaz, too, in a weird way, because he's always in the shadow of Rafa Dehang, right? He's on Liquid. People forget he's on Liquid.
I don't forget.
Okay, well, because you're North American. No, but like, he's on Liquid, right? And he's just not been able to break through as a dual player, but similar to Silence-Up, he's not a dual player. But it's cool to see that he's made it this far in a mode that he's not used to.
Yeah, and this might be his one big chance. I mean, if he can pull through now, he's up into the final 16 tomorrow, and who knows? If he gets some good brackets, good group, might make it pretty far.
If he's, paying us enough under the table to draw him in a good group.
Or
we pair him against Rafa and Dehang in the same group. It's all of Liquid in one group. I'm calling it now.
It'll all be above the table, I'm sure. Yeah.
Maestro Liquid. We're open to offers right now, I would say.
But you mentioned Whaz mostly being known as a team player, and yeah, it's not like being a team player is like second fiddle to being a dual player. Like just the focus is a little bit different. So Whaz gets to specialize on things like movement, like you said, like his tech in like troubled waters and Quake Live is always one of my favorite things to watch. One of the things that's been a factor in this tournament is how often do you get to kind of let your movement shine? Is your opponent doing their homework like they should and maybe removing that anarchy or that Sorlag or somebody else that allows you to kind of, show off a little bit. But we're getting into Awoken again, and I know I've been saying it a lot today, but Awoken gives you no time to figure out what your opponent is going to be doing off of a first spawn. And I'm just saying this because like if your opponent spawns rail, you need to have some idea, some historic knowledge of, okay, are they going to go mega? Are they going to go heavy? Are we going to be looking at them like pushing forward into the LG immediately while I'm still back there getting armor? And so you really need to know things like that getting into Awoken. And again, I just hope both of these guys have done their research, studied some clips, studied some VODs.
Yeah, and we did have, we did have a quick switch up on the maps as well. It was originally Awoken, Blood Covenant, Blood Run, but I think it was updated to Veil being second and Corrupted
That's
third.
interesting, though. Veil is a map that we haven't gotten to spec together yet.
Veil is my least favorite map, hands down. I will say it till this day. I still have trouble like navigating that map for some reason. Awoken came out, I was like, okay, good. 10 minutes on, I'm good on this. I've been trying to grind Veil, and I just cannot figure out the map for some reason.
In Veil, you have to look up sometimes. I know it can be confusing.
I'm usually looking down because I'm so tall, right? So I'm not used to having to look up. And plus that jump to teleporter, I can't tell you the amount of times I've died doing that.
Just don't do it, actually.
That's what I've had to go for.
Just don't do it.
Yeah. It's really a love or hate it map. I mean, I know some people who really, really love it and who really focused on it, and they got a lot of elo just by focusing on the map that many other people at first really didn't like or didn't want to play.
And it could be so powerful knowing that your opponent hates it. That's one thing to love about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you hate it, I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
That's the tactic.
Yeah, if you're good on the map and you know that your opponent hates it, they have to ban it because they know that you're so good on it. So that basically gives you a free map in the pick and bans.
And speaking of bans, I'm curious what was banned away by both these players. Whaz isn't a clutch player, is he? I don't imagine him being a clutch player that often.
And to my knowledge, he isn't, no.
So we've got k1llsen taken out by k1llsen and Nyx taken out by Whaz there.
Okay.
So fairly conservative stuff, but as we get into Awoken, not having a k1llsen on the board will obviously have an impact, and I don't think these rounds are going to take very long.
Well, as you mentioned before, with the rail spawn, you know, being the other player, you have to kind of know or guess where they're going to go. Visor should be 100% pick out of both these players. And I'm actually curious, Jahar, you know, not seeing Lupin take Visor in his last match against Base on the first map. That was super surprising, especially on Awoken.
He paid the price.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah, getting that information is going to be vital here. So a bit of a safety pick for both of them. Pretty symmetrical at the moment. And, of course, not having k1llsen means we could have, again, always my fingers crossed for Keel. Just so much fun to see.
I mean, Strog and Peeker's not bad. BJ's not bad.
Death
Keel,
Knight.
like you said. Yeah, Death Knight as well.
I mean, on Awoken, he's one of the best champions to pick, I think.
Hey,
and there we go.
it is.
Wes is picking him.
And with that, I think we're going to be hopping into Awoken. Best of luck to k1llsen and Whaz. But I think it's time for you guys to shine.
All right, well, let's kick this one off, Flea. This is going to be interesting. Do you have any predictions, by the way? Because we haven't done predictions, which I always hate doing.
That's true.
But who do you predict to take this one?
I'm still going to say k1llsen 2-1, but I think it can really go either way. So
okay. I'm not going to do predictions.
You're not going to do predictions?
I like to be the one to ask for them, because then that way I can like not say them. But I think I want to say k1llsen 2-0, but I'm open to Whaz surprising me here.
Yeah.
I don't want to count his skill out, but I feel like with k1llsen beating Zron earlier in a 3-mapper, I feel like he's woken up today, and he's finally realized, okay, crap, I have to play. I can't afford to lose anymore.
Woken up just in time for Awoken as we're starting this one off on Wes. He's picking Visor as his first one. k1llsen is on the Ranger. So far, k1llsen went for the Mega site, went for heavy. Still lacking that LG though. Whaz really wants to get on top, pick himself up that LG. Didn't have the opportunity to do so just yet. And it looks like k1llsen has got everything except for the rail. So both players at first just beating each other out a little bit, and they're going to go for the safety weapons. I mean, got to get that Holy Trinity first.
Yeah, you don't want those scrub weapons.
Nope.
You see the Dire Orb used here to k1llsen to take away Mega. Heavy is actually available, and Whaz actually doesn't even bother to go for it here.
Yeah, very aggressive play by k1llsen right there. Going up to the rail ledge and trying to get some more damage, and he hits the shot too. Is he going to push in? Yes, he will. LG out and at the ready. There come the defensive rockets, but was going off the map. Ring out. That's a good start for k1llsen. And he's got a good delay between the two major items too.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Whaz was never going to escape that situation.
No, definitely not. Trying to just do as much damage as he could, but ultimately just go over the edge.
So Whaz actually, you can see, he doesn't have an exact timing of heavy. Now he's going to be locked in this position with not a full stack of armor. The Dire Orb comes through, almost goes straight through him actually. And k1llsen's looking for the rail shots again. k1llsen, will he come into light and missing those 2 shots? I'm not going to say I called it, but no, yeah, unfortunately missing those 2 shots, not very like k1llsen.
Yeah, that was definitely good for Whaz. He's set up near Mega right now. He's trying to just choke k1llsen out of that item. Got the setup. He might be able to pick himself up Mega and then just go for heavy, but here comes k1llsen up to the T. Almost out of rockets though. This has got to be careful.
Wasn't a lot of damage, but that was a good prediction there. And again, double 41s,
oh
triple 20s. He might die to fire though if he takes any damage.
Yeah, trade. Great, that's definitely going to favor k1llsen since he was 1 champion up already. That's a good rail at the start. k1llsen once, twice. Can't hit
3
the first
times
one.
the lady.
Oh no, k1llsen. Oh, you will find it at the end. Clutching for a second right there, and I was clenching because the drop down right there with just a rail, that could have gone wrong so easily.
Yeah, and you see here, k1llsen, that quick finisher. I mean, that was a pretty much fight that you're almost guaranteed to get if you're in his situation. I don't think Whaz could be that upset about that because he knew he wasn't at a health advantage. He was at a major disadvantage, and he was at a major positional disadvantage at the same time. k1llsen takes away heavy.
Yep, good opening play by k1llsen. He used the orb because he wanted to try and see if he had a shot at Mega as well. Because very often players will leave Mega up to go get LG first. That's what he was hoping for. Doesn't get it. Rockets fight at the very start, and both major items up at around the same time.
Thing is, like last time k1llsen did win something was in November. At least, sorry, a LAN event back in November for the Italian Open. Okay, all right. Maybe he heard me talk about his rails.
He's at 54% rail right now, 11 shots, so he's warming up. He's getting there.
and he's going to get heavy off of this too. So he's going to be so stacked. He also keeps a split between the two, a healthy split to make sure to get towards both. And now Whaz playing on the back foot here with that Ranger with Dire up in 4 seconds. He's going to need to put up a kill here. He's going to need to get something going just to get some sort of, not motivation, but morale boost into this match.
Yeah, good opening rocket by k1llsen. Was caught out in a bad position. Now k1llsen's got the position, he's got the timing, he's got the stack. He is set to take both of these major items. Oh, fucking the wrong way though. There comes Whaz. Bit of LG damage coming through. And Whaz actually getting position onto the heavy. k1llsen is gonna push in. Whaz kind of stuck right there.
God. These shots. Oh my god, kill. Okay, yeah, don't jump off the map. Oh, no, you're back in! What is going on? He gets the frag, k1llsen!
16 points of health somehow. That was very quick thinking from k1llsen. Off the map and right back in with that orb. Beautiful play. Pretty low on stack though. Not sure if he can participate in the fight for this mega.
Whaz has to be so frustrated. He's like, I knocked him off the map. Wait, he just orbed back in. Wait, he just hit me with that shot. Oh man, that's... Look at his beats per minute, 146. Like that was a squeaky bum moment right there.
k1llsen, you monster. That was an amazing round. Very fast.
He almost rocket jumps off the map, and then he almost gets knocked off the map with the tri-bolt, then comes back in. Like, that was a thing of beauty. That honestly was.
Definitely a thing of beauty. And we're off on k1llsen's point of view again. There comes Whaz picking up Mega. k1llsen retaliating so quickly with that LG. Wants to get himself the heavy. Is he able to?
I also just have to apologize if I blew anyone's eardrums out there by going into the falsetto with my voice, but that was just ridiculous back-to-back events.
Yeah. k1llsen somehow tried to pressure with next to nothing of stack to his name. Mega up in 5 seconds and a big delay before heavy. k1llsen's got that BJ and he's got that LG ready too, so that dual LG could come out at any time right now. That's scary for Whaz. He needs to be careful about that.
There we go. Let's get a little initial rail to keep k1llsen away, to keep his distance.
Yep.
He also has a chance to go towards heavy, but it looks like he has... Well, the thing is, he picked it up last, if I'm not mistaken, before that kill on k1llsen happened, so he has the timing on it, but he does give up the position. Does go with the LG, good look to knock him off the map. Doesn't actually do it just yet as he knocks him into the corner.
Yeah, barely staying in. Mega up in 10 seconds. Oh, good rocket from k1llsen though. He did go down, but he hit that final burst of damage that's going to help him out in the next fight.
You know, momentum is something that I love to talk about and probably gets over-talked about at some points. So we see them going for an LG versus LG battle.
Oh my god, k1llsen just pushing in. Just took the LG in the side.
He won that battle even with Whaz having Mega.
Yeah, that was amazing.
But yeah, momentum, sorry, I was wanting to talk about that. Okay, come on, guys, let me talk about my point. k1llsen's looking for the follow-up fight. He doesn't have rail, but he's going to actually look to get on top of the great Direb away from Whaz. The Flea, finally, as they give us a second. Momentum is massive when it comes to Quake Champion. God, guys, let me.
They give us a second. No, they won't. There comes k1llsen ready to finish it off. 2-2. Whaz just has 1 life left.
No, I don't want to talk about, forget it, I don't want to talk about momentum anymore.
Let's talk about momentum after the map.
Yeah, maybe that's the best time we should do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think we have a second. No, maybe. Momentum's massive. Okay, fine. I'm done. I give up.
Almost off the map, though.
Oh, the second shot as well.
Second shot would have been beautiful. Was jumping on the ledge just a second before k1llsen landing that rail. Mega will be up in 10 seconds. k1llsen moving towards it. Oh, he's doing so much damage, though, k1llsen. 56% rail after all this time.
I think Whaz just fire striked as well up there to deny k1llsen from getting in that position. He's actually stuck on the rock there with the destructible environment. And Whaz will get the kill. And Whaz will get the round actually off of that.
Yeah, good for Whaz. This might mark a comeback. This could be the turning point for him.
So momentum.
Some momentum. That's what he needs.
Momentum is massive when it comes to Quake Champions. When you're feeling yourself, when you feel like you're feeling like you're playing to your peak performance and you're getting these kills back to back like Whaz was, it's really hard if you're the player on the other side of that game to stop that momentum and get back into it and to pick up a good frag.
Yeah. We're on Whaz's point of view right now, landing a good opening rail on k1llsen right there, but he's lacking armor. That small armor there at T will help him out quite a bit, but he still needs that LG, and that's something that k1llsen does have available to him at this point. Mega will be up first, but there's very little delay between the 2 items.
And LG going to be the bane of a visor as well.
Yeah, he doesn't have the side up though, so that's unfortunate for Whaz. Can't really predict exactly where k1llsen is going to be. He hears him though, he knows that k1llsen is above him. There comes the drop. Good rail from Whaz. k1llsen pushing in relentlessly, but he's so low. Is he going to continue? He will, despite taking a rocket. He's just going to go for heavy, but he's so low. 1 rail will kill him.
Oh, he has Mega. Yeah. Gonna rocket jump over. He knows k1llsen's still low on HP. It's another great round. 1 more to follow this up would kill k1llsen. It would slay the beast, but k1llsen gets around the corner in time, and Whaz just not hitting the shots he needs to get a massive lead in this game.
Yeah, just want to give props to Whaz for waiting with the side right there, because he did have it available to him earlier, but he just waited because he knew that k1llsen would just pick up heavy, and so he waited until after k1llsen picked up the item to then use his side to know exactly where his opponent would be. Very clever play. Oh, taking a lot of damage from that tribal, though he's got to have Mega to his back so he can stag back up, but he's majorly lacking armor right now.
Yeah, and you can see k1llsen's been able to steal those one away too from the damage he took prior. k1llsen actually be back on natural health, but overstocked on armor, and Whaz knows he's right around this corner here, but you can see k1llsen expects it. k1llsen will eat 61 damage for his trouble.
Yeah. k1llsen might get himself Mega this time, though. He's had nothing but armor for quite some time right now. Whaz is favoring heavy this time around. Oh, that's a sneaky rocket. 41 damage out of nowhere. k1llsen just looking around like, where did that come from? Heavy going to Whaz, Mega going to k1llsen. No delay between the items. Whaz is still over at that rail side. He's got all the weapons, and k1llsen does too, so both players pretty comfortable. They don't need to go anywhere specific on the map. And here we go, we're gonna see our next big fight. k1llsen using the orb, and he gets him with the rockets. Nicely done. He needs stag though. He's at 50 points of health. He's gonna pick up those 2 bubbles. But he needs to play it carefully right now, especially because he's up against the Death Knight. And that fire, that can hurt so bad.
Yeah, both of them gonna have very offensive abilities if they do round the corner into each other. I did like the engagement of k1llsen too, looking for damage in that area with the die orb that he had before. But Whaz, we haven't really seen him hit too many of these fire strikes just yet. Hasn't had as many opportunities as he was probably hoping for.
Yeah.
k1llsen playing this very sneaky. Here's him go around towards LG.
Yeah, and at this point, the as far as the items go, both players have the exact same amount of megas and armors picked up, so very well balanced in terms of items control. k1llsen setting up over at that rail.
Sorry, a Thanos meme just popped into my head when you talked about everything being balanced in terms of major item pickups.
They're going to be picked up at the same time. No delay. k1llsen looking the wrong way, taking a little tickle of LG right there, getting out of the room relatively unharmed though. But he needs to be careful. Both players right now have got an ability that can do so much damage so quickly, so they need to be careful and mindful about the fights that they do or don't take.
And if you're k1llsen here, I mean, you're up 2-1 in rounds. You're up 1 frag here in this round. That could get you into match point.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to force a fight either. You can just play this cooler style. You know, drag out the last minute and a half.
Yeah.
Force Whaz to come to you, where you can use your orb offensively. And he's constantly trying to keep his distance. Yeah, he's trying to keep these items, but he's also not giving opportunity for Whaz to surprise him. He's always pre-firing these corners.
Yeah, really good plays by k1llsen. He just gets himself Mega, and now he's just trying to do damage to Whaz. Whaz kind of stuck right there. k1llsen, nice orb. Got some distance on that one too. Looking really solid right now. Still on fire, but that'll pass any moment right now. But that's great for Whaz though, because those fire, you can see the damage takes through the walls. So Whaz knew exactly where k1llsen went because he was on fire.
I want to know, what kind of fire is that, or what kind of water are you in when it comes to Awoken? Because you would imagine the water would put the flames out, the rocket jump up, getting really aggressive. A great rail to keep k1llsen at arm's length, but that's the follow-up shot out of k1llsen, and that's the 3rd round.
Beautiful rails by k1llsen.
Yeah.
Is he slowly starting to live up to that rail? No, not yet.
Honestly, it's kind of like, you know, Razy's Keep. But he's like not been winning Corrupted Keep for a long time. It's kind of like, well, k1llsen has not been performing with Rail for so long in Quake Champions that he has to prove it to me. We saw some good things.
Though. 65%.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't complain about that. He's been doing some good things.
Yeah.
But it's not the legends I've heard, you know?
Yeah.
It's not the story of k1llsen and what he can do.
Well, as we were discussing with Jihar earlier, I mean, it is, of course, different. It's a different game. Different altogether. Gotta be careful with that.
Sorry. Anyways, yeah, we're about to hop into... there we go. You see the stats on the screen there.
Yep.
And we can see, like I said, k1llsen 60. Thing is, I know I look like a dick saying, yeah, his rail's still not there for me when he has 65% accuracy, but I don't think anyone can argue with me about the domination he had in Quake Live with rail versus the domination that he does not have with rail in this game. It could, you know, count it down to the meta, could count it down to champions and abilities, but he's not lived up to that legendary status that I've heard.
Yeah.
He needs to have like multiple games in a row where he's performing like that for me to give him that title back.
I think it overall just might be more difficult to hit the rails on this game because you've got so many different hitbox sizes, so many different movement speeds. It's so much more difficult to actively predict exactly where your opponent is going to be.
And as Jihar was saying, it depends on the packets and the order, and I'm pretty sure he's trolling the hell out of me with that one. But yeah, still, I mean, that doesn't really matter too much because we're going to our next map, and now k1llsen's 1 map away from getting through into the main event.
Yeah, and if I do believe this is Whaz's pick, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting because, as we said earlier, Vale is really the kind of map that many people, they're either really good at it and they love it, or they are not that good at it.
It's a very polarizing map.
Very polarizing, definitely.
Yeah. And I don't actually know how much time k1llsen's put into this map. Because thinking back to like when we had the Italian Open and when we've had the Beat Invitationals and the Quake Open Leagues, Vale wasn't even in the pool.
That's true.
If I'm not mistaken. So I would imagine if you're a player like k1llsen and you're as experienced and veteran as he is, then you're gonna know your weaknesses and you're gonna know that this map will probably be one of them. And I'm imagining he's put in the time to kind of help with that.
I don't doubt it. Any idea of what the champions might be? Because this is a very different map than Awoken, obviously.
k1ll.
Yeah.
I would imagine k1ll.
k1llsen was one of the bands.
Yeah, it was one of the bands.
So can't pick that one.
k1ll, Death Knight, Ranger. I think we're gonna see at least 2 of those 3. Not necessarily in those order. Visor. Potentially. I don't think it's as a necessity on this map as it is in other maps, but it's always a solid pick no matter what.
Yeah. This is Kiel City, though, and immediately was picking that Kiel and k1llsen, countering with the same Ranger.
Oh my God, Death Knight.
Yeah,
I'm going to look like a god if you go Death Knight.
DK, let's do it.
Just don't do Galena. The amount of times we've done tournaments where they're like picking picking band champs.
You might be dead on with
I am
those
a
picks.
god.
Impressive,
I
Jason.
am a god.
Gotta give it to you. Well done.
It's not really a hard thing to predict, though, right? It's not hard at all. Take 3 offensive ability champions, use them on a map with tight areas, and then profit. Or question mark, and then profit.
Small map, all-out brawl, lots of tiny little winding corners.
So
and
fast
areas.
map, right? We're expecting fast play to both.
Yeah, I think this is probably not going to be a very long map at all. No overtimes.
Yeah, I would imagine the same. I'm trying to think who's done the aggressive play better between the two, because I feel like when Whaz got those 2 kills on that round of Awoken, like he picked them up so quickly.
Oh yeah, he one after the other.
But k1llsen had the better control once he did get the initial frag.
Yeah, and this is Whaz's pick, so maybe he's got the key to the map.
Well, we'll see if he does have the key to the city of Vale of Nath. We're going to hop into this one, and we're going to find out if we're going to a 3rd map, or if k1llsen will take this in 2 and get through to tomorrow.
Whaz starting off on the Kiel. k1llsen going Ranger. Whaz will get that mega side of things. No one has got the rail yet. Rail is kind of like on the outskirts of the map, so it's a bit of an investment to go over there. It's always a big risk. Taking a bit of damage from that Tri-Bolt. k1llsen got the mobility, but Whaz has got the tankiness, and he's got the ability to put out the damage. Taking quite a bit of Tri-Bolt right there. Mega and Heavy up at the exact same time. Whaz is pushing away from his first item. He might actually drop on this, but k1llsen uses the orb to get it instead.
Oh, Tri-Bolt spam that. He's actually denying this one. He's actually creating a large grab in time. Oh, so I imagine maybe a shotgun blast instead of rocket as he's trying to look for the direct, but he will give it up, but not before doing some good damage to Whaz.
Yeah, definitely. Whaz took quite a bit right there. He's not fully stacked on armor. He's gonna be close to that level at this point, but no close engagement yet. I mean, we've had some like passing fights, but we're a minute in, and we haven't really had like that one real confrontation where something's got to break.
Well, I mean, they're both very scared because you know those pineapples around the corner can blow you up. You know, the die orb can just instantly decimate you. So, kind of fast play that we're expecting. They're kind of giving respect to each other and respect to the abilities that each champion does have.
That pineapple though, doing a little bit of damage right there. k1llsen getting Mega, Whaz taking Heavy instead, and still no frags. 1 minute and 30 seconds in. This is being played much slower than many Vales that I've seen in the past. You
know, you talked about this rail room, you know, as being something you don't heavily focus on. It's very easy to get caught out. I was expecting Whaz to actually be there more aggressively. If you think about, you know, the amount of hourglasses there and the pineapples, that that Tri-Bolt.
Taking quite a bit of damage right back though. And it took Whaz 1 minute and 30 seconds to get his rail. That's how long it took him to get a hold of that weapon. He does have it now, though.
Why need a rail when you got Tri-Bolts like that?
Yeah. And you've got those grenades as well. Lots of damage being exchanged. I mean, this is pretty... this is pretty crazy. We have 1,300 damage done and not a single frag so far. But this might be it, though. Whaz has got k1llsen locked in, missing the rail. Taking a lot of damage. This is an opportunity for both of these players. k1llsen finding the angle first, though. Nice shot, getting first frag of the second map.
Yeah, but it's all coming down to this. Can k1llsen restack quick enough in this time? Whaz already used his orb trying to catch him off guard, and that's a good rocket to start things off with. Can he push him through the teleporter? He's looking for the rail shot as well, and Whaz will escape. But most importantly, k1llsen stacked after that last fight. He's been able to get back to basically full natural now as he's missing 50 armor. And even get some extra damage onto Whaz here, so not giving him a chance to make a kill happen off of the damage Whaz just did to him.
Yeah, good for Whaz is that he did manage to get rail very quickly this round. Almost immediately after respawning, he got himself that weapon. Oh, so crucial, and there's very little delay between the two major items. So this could be good for Whaz. k1llsen just knows that he's down there, and he's like trying to figure out which weapon he should commit to, or which item rather. It will be Mega and then Heavy. will be going to Whaz. Nicely played by Whaz, seeing the opening, knowing what item to go for. k1llsen still has that top control, but he needs to lock something down.
You know, Flea, I know how we mentioned we're probably not going to see any overtimes on this map, but I actually think we're going to see it now that I think about it with k1llsen having that 1 kill lead, and it's going to be Ranger versus Ranger. I almost expect him to just, again, keep Whaz at arm's length. There's no need to force a fight, to give him an opportunity for a dire kill, but this time he actually goes in because he knows he did the damage, and with 3 HP left, he gets a second frag.
3 HP, wow. Taking heavy right there. Looking for those health bubbles. Oh, careful of the acid, because if you land in that, that could have ended it. k1llsen looping back around. He still needs that health. Whaz is looking very comfy right now. He's got himself a mega health. He's got that ability. k1llsen dropping down in the flames. Surely he will go down to the acid even. Yep. And there goes Whaz. He's got a minute left and he needs to make a 1 more frag. k1llsen picking the kill. I think that was the smart choice to make. Getting bounced around with some rockets, but those nades, oh so strong. k1llsen taking round 1.
Tri-bolt plus pineapples. That's like so many explosions going off. It's like a Michael Bay film here in Quake. That's ridiculous. But again, yeah, you see here, like there was no need for him to necessarily force the fight. And you saw him with 3 HP left surviving that. But he felt like he had the right moment. He turned the aggression on, and you know what? He's got another round under his belt.
Yeah. This is a difficult map to run away on, though. This is like a really difficult map to go passive and to just avoid a fight for like a minute and a half. So at one point you do have to commit, because if you give your opponent everything, they're going to find you sooner rather than later.
Well, also knowing that the orb was down from his opponent, from Whaz, it's like, all right, well, I can go in safely now and not be afraid of you at all.
We still haven't seen anyone use the outside teleporter. Maybe they're a little bit afraid of it, because it's...
Whaz did use it once.
Oh, Whaz did use it?
Yeah,
okay.
he did come through there when we saw k1llsen at Real.
Okay.
But only once, though. And it's, I mean,
it's always
I can't
a risk.
make the jump, so I never go for it.
It's a risk, you know, because if you just get it slightly wrong, that's instantly dead.
Yeah.
Whaz will get himself onto that mega health, outstacking k1llsen slightly at this point. k1llsen getting out of that room is going to go for his rail. His beloved railgun will find it. And Whaz is pushing in.
So many good puns here. k1llsen, Railson.
Oh. Can you find? No, no. No damage being exchanged whatsoever in that situation, and k1llsen does have the top ground. This is good for him. There comes Whaz. Just 17 damage though. The orb, and he will take him down.
Can he get both items as well off of this? Where's the respawn? Uses the rocket jump back up towards Heavy. He's going to look for the drop onto it, and again, he denies both away. You can see Whaz respecting that though, as he looked for the rail at long range. And again, Orb doesn't really care about stacks, so it's not that big of a loss for Whaz, but he has to be very aware of when his Orb's on cooldown, that k1llsen's going to look for a fight.
Oh my god, there he comes. k1llsen, he doesn't go for the Orb. This should be another frag. Yep, Acid will take him down. And k1llsen, 1 frag away from taking home this 2nd round. He's got a good setup right there. Mega first, and he's got the time to go for Heavy. He's got a few seconds. He needs to be very fast, though. At least he'll be able to do some damage if Whaz goes for it. Can he figure out? Oh, he's looking the wrong way entirely. Taking a lot of flame damage, but nope. Quick reaction, though. Really nicely done by k1llsen. That 180 instantly into the Orb.
Through the fire and the flames, k1llsen will Orb you. I think that's how the song goes.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for Whaz. I mean, it was a good setup. It was a good prediction. I don't think he actually connected with that many meatballs off of that.
No.
Funny enough. k1llsen's like, yes, I did it.
k1llsen doing well. I mean, this is it. This is the make it or break it for Whaz. This could be the final round of his tournament live. He needs to make something happen right now. k1llsen getting himself railgun. He still needs LG opening up with 1 good rail, 2 good rails. Is he going to opt for it? No.
Oh. That would have been the cockiest play of 2018 if you went for that one.
He could have pulled it off, though. Definitely could have pulled it off. He had the stack advantage. But, you know, those pineapples, those grenades, you need to be so careful because they can do so much damage so quickly.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, people always complain, like, oh, Dire Orb, the insta-kill, it's not fair. Well, I mean, you have to play around it. It's like, you know, playing around whatever's strong in the meta right now. You have to respect it, and you have to adapt your play around it. And I think, you know, k1llsen's doing a real clinic here, showing that he's respecting the Orb every time it's up. He's not forcing fights that he doesn't need to when he's against the Orb. And he's even respecting the pineapples. So he's respecting the damage these abilities can do, and he's playing around it. And that's what you have to do if you want to be one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, and here we go. Whaz is trying to chase him down. Really good use of the Orb right there, because that is like the corner of doom. If you get stuck there with an opponent above you, you're basically done. So clever play using the Orb to get out of there. There comes Whaz through the teleporter, getting knocked down. k1llsen himself low, but wow. The shot from k1llsen. Getting first frag in what might be the final round of today.
Oh no, Whaz! He tries to go for Heavy! The Dire Orb does not work out for him. It's actually...
Oh, that was close.
Oh, the bane of his existence there. Now the Death Knight, and this is k1llsen spot him out already. The Dire Orb will come through, and Whaz's tournament life looks like it will be ending here. And k1llsen, look at that on the screen. He's happy about that, especially with how the day started off for him, with him losing to CNZ, and then him skating by, not even skating by, barely beating Zron. He's got to be happy about making it through to tomorrow and having that chance to play for the money.
And deservedly, too. I mean, he deserves to be in the final 16, I think. After what we've seen of him today.
I don't know why, but in my head, I feel like he's like screaming, "Yosh!" But he's like not Japanese, so I don't know why he would be saying that. But yeah, his rail working out for him in the end. Playing very smart. I think that's really nice to see out of k1llsen, to play with your brain.
Yeah, definitely not relying just on that railgun, but playing a very clever game. Taking a look at the scoreboard, we see slight advantage for k1llsen in terms of item control. Definitely doing most of the damage. More accuracy too. Really nice play from k1llsen. Hitting just 33% railgun right there though, so might have dropped a little bit.
I mean, he didn't take that many shots, to be fair. And the shots he was going for were pretty ridiculous to hit. So, you know, I'll give him a buy on this one. We'll pass for now.
Definitely.
So, you know what it's time for right now, Flea?
Yeah, we're about to draw the groups for tomorrow.
The magic voice is going to come into our ears.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why we're going to welcome someone back as our host. Jahar, welcome
very
back.
soon. Very, very soon. But yeah, that matchup, k1llsen and Whaz, I was really wanting to see Whaz, you know, having that pick for Veil of Nath, you know, do something magical on it, give us a little bit of that Wazzle Dazzle. Because, again, it's a map that's pretty contentious, and it's one that can make you some enemies. Didn't really make an enemy out of k1llsen, though.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we look at the whole series, that just Whaz had one time that he got going. Yeah. One time that was on Awoken. Yeah, the one round he picked up. But ever since like that, before and after it, it was just it was the k1llsen show. Yeah. And he really showed that he's still got the control down.
Did Awoken make you a believer in the rail, by the way?
No, still. No, see, the thing for me is, I was saying this before, is that, these are Kinder. Wow, who ate all these Kinder eggs to bring these out? So for me, it's like, it's about Razy's Keep, right? It's everyone calls it Razy's Keep, but he had such a terrible performance on it for such a long time that it was coming into question whether or not you can still call it that. I want to see k1llsen for like 5 games, maybe 10, pull off the rail accuracy.
And what accuracy would he need in your eyes? 65%?
It's not necessarily about the accuracy. It's about the shots you're hitting for me, for rail.
By the way, I love what your vocal cords did.
When, so you did hear that. I'm surprised you can still hear me after that.
I didn't even hear it on the stream. I heard it like through the walls.
I think every dog in like a 3-mile vicinity around here heard that high-pitched squeal.
Police has been called. Noise complaints already.
Yeah, we had a complaint that a woman was being murdered. Oh, that was just me.
That was planned, by the way, right? Like, that was fall off the edge, throw out the orb. He thinks I'm already gone. Surprise.
Oh, yeah, totally right. Yeah, but totally he did it for style points.
Yeah, absolutely. You know him. You know the man. Gotta love him.
But, I mean, k1llsen was really just playing off his tits today, like, honestly.
Now I wanted to see the Zron match that he played, because that went the full 3 maps, and that actually came down to like a 3-2 at the end, if I'm not mistaken. And that angle, I don't know if that was intentional to k1llsen there, but it made weird. Rockets really hard to hit.
I mean, from that little shake of the head, it's like, yeah, I probably didn't want to be up there. It's awkward to try and turn a leave, so you don't really go for that. But, you know, you make the best out of it. And k1llsen honestly did. Again, like, I wanted to see Whaz do something crazy on Veil.
He played well, but k1llsen was just too strong for him.
I mean, that sums it up. Quick analysis
he just shot the guy more. That's all. Yeah.
Sometimes that's all that you can say.
If you point at them and shoot, you generally do damage.
That
if you do enough of it,
the best advice you can give
them.
anybody. Just don't miss them ever.
Thing is, what scares me about k1llsen is that his rare looked good here, but his LG as well looked pretty good.
That last round was just unfortunate.
Yeah,
really. Yeah, I saw the play on the heavy, almost getting it, not quite getting it.
Yeah.
Well, I like that, you know, if k1llsen, I think if he can, like, bring his rail up to par with what everyone knows it to be, his rocket's already there. His LG is getting close. Like, that triple threat of the trinity of weapons, like, that's some serious work. He already has the mind, as you see, and he's one of the few players that I've seen, like, obviously respect the Die Orb and respect the Flame Strike and respect the Pineapples. Like, he's playing around that particularly. He was able to punish Whaz when Whaz got aggressive with the Ranger versus Ranger when he had the Orb on cooldown. He's like, all right,